We pray for those who preach and those who hear God's word today. We pray especially for those who preach, those gathered in churches throughout Florida. Come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful people. Kindle in them the fire of your love. Send forth your Spirit, and they shall be created, and you will renew the face of the earth. In the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Most of us, the longer that we know somebody, the more we have certain expectations of them. We know how they're going to act, right? Whether it's a member of the family, a loved one, relative, a friend, a neighbor, a colleague, someone here at church, someone we share a hobby with. Over the years, we've come to know what to expect from them. We know who it is that will bring sun to a gloomy day, and we know people that will be like Eeyore, right? No matter how bright the day, there's always this cloud of rain that hovers over them. We know what to expect. We know who will listen to us when we share with them something personal. We know the ones that will make it all about themselves. Whatever we say, they have a story to match. We know who to trust. We know who will show up. We know who will come early and who will be an hour or two or more late. We just know. We know what to expect. And if the truth be told, we know that people have certain expectations about us. We have boxes that we put people in, and we know that people have boxes that they put us in as well. Occasionally, people surprise us. They do more than we expected them. They're able to lift themselves over the bar that we've set for them. And, fortunately, there are occasions when we even exceed expectations. I have to confess that when I read stories about the apostles in the Gospels, I generally have pretty low expectations of them. The gospel writers seem sometimes to go out of their way to say, you know what? If this motley crew can do it, so can you. Sometimes when I read stories about the apostles, I wonder, why did Jesus pick them? What was he thinking? This is, of course, mostly true about Judas, right? What did Jesus see in Judas? What did he miss? Judas, who Jesus called, but who betrayed him. I also think the same about Peter, of course. Peter, who for every success he has, follows it almost exactly with failure. Whenever he says something right, he immediately falls on his face. Peter, who said to Jesus, I will die for you, and within hours denied that he even knew him. I have pretty low expectations when it comes to Peter. I have pretty low expectations when it comes to the other ones too. They never quite get it. They always misunderstand. They're hard-hearted and hard-headed. What was he thinking? Often, when I've heard the gospel from this morning read, often when I preached about this morning's gospel, I put the apostles in that box of hard-headedness. They come to Jesus and they say, Jesus, increase our faith. As if faith is something that you just pour into a vessel. It's like water that you pour into a canteen. You just ask for more. Or like rain that you put in a bin. Or like oil that you put in a candle. Just ask for more. Fill it up, Jesus. And then Jesus responds impatiently. You guys still don't get it, do you? You know, if you had faith even this big, you could say to the mulberry tree, be planted in the sea, and it would do it. But geez, guys, your faith isn't even that big. When are you finally going to get it? That's how I've usually read that gospel today. The disciples asking this stupid question, and Jesus responding with impatience. But I wonder if maybe this gospel is actually meant to say something strong about the apostles. You know, we're in the 17th chapter of Luke's Gospel. Jesus is almost to Jerusalem. It's a journey that he began back in chapter 9. And now they're almost there. On that journey, Jesus has twice predicted that when he gets to Jerusalem, he's going to be betrayed. He's going to suffer and die. On that journey, Jesus has explained to the apostles what it means to follow him, what it's going to cost them. He's explained to them how they too will have to carry a cross. And in the verses just before today's gospel, Jesus has told them to be careful, because if they cause anyone to stumble, it's better that they hang a millstone around their neck and throw themselves in the sea. He's told them that to be his disciple means they have to forgive 70 times, 7 times. I picture the apostles as getting frightened. They're getting close to Jerusalem and they say to Jesus, we don't think we can do this. We don't think we can follow you, Jesus. We don't think we can carry the cross, Jesus. And Jesus reassures them. You know, even if your faith is only this big, you can do it. You can come to Jerusalem with me. You can carry the cross. You can be my disciples. I think this is what Paul is telling Timothy also. Paul is in prison again. Or still. Friends have deserted him. Paul has cheated death many times. But this might not turn out that way. Paul knows that he's running out of time. Paul knows it's time for him to pass his ministry on to Timothy. But Timothy is reluctant. Paul's left some pretty big shoes to fill, and Timothy is not sure that he can do it. So Paul writes to reassure him. You can do this, Timothy. Rekindle the faith that your grandmother and mother gave you. Rekindle the faith that you received when I laid my hands on you. You can do this, Timothy. Because the Spirit of God is with you. Have you ever wondered if you can do this? Have you ever wondered if you can be a disciple faithfully? If you can love as Jesus loved, if you can forgive as Jesus forgave, if you can carry your cross, if you can be the example, the living presence of Jesus in our world. Do you ever say, I don't know if I can do this? I don't know if I can live faithfully. Our reading from Lamentations today is pretty desolate, isn't it? The author is writing from exile and is remembering Jerusalem in all its glory. And he knows that that city has been destroyed. He sees in the face of his fellow exiles mourning and grief and desolation. I was thinking about that this week as I saw pictures from Florida. Utter destruction and desolation. Faces of hopelessness. I'm thinking of that when I see faces from Ukraine. This war that just goes on and on and on. How do we be faithful in the face of that desolation? How do we live faithfully in the desolation that hits closer to home, right? As families struggle financially, or with addiction, with despair, with relationships that are strained, or with illness. How do we live faithfully in in these times. Sometimes we say to Jesus, I don't know if we can do this. I don't know if I can live faithfully, Jesus. I'm not strong enough. I think the readings today are meant to reassure us that even with faith that's small, we can do it. We can tell that tree to be planted in the sea, and it will. The readings tell us, rekindle your faith. Remember those who passed faith on to you, your parents, your grandparents, your teachers. Remember their example and live like they did. Keep praying. Nourish yourself with Eucharist. Do the next good thing. Smile at the clerk. Say something nice to someone who annoys you. Give $1 to someone who asks for it. Be kind to a stranger. Forgive somebody who doesn't deserve it. You know, I worry so much about Ukraine, Florida, the people there. But there are people right in front of me who need an act of kindness. Maybe that's where it starts. Jesus tells us that we can do this. That we can live faithfully. That by doing the next good thing, by the power of the Spirit, we can carry our cross. We can follow Jesus. And we can help bring healing to our world.